Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I have a little haul video for you guys. I have collected between like 20 and 30 books over the past month as I've been traveling. I've also had a few things sent to me and I just wanted to haul them for you. It's not gonna be like a huge mega haul like I usually have, but honestly I just feel like I have a really fully stocked library, so I'm not really buying things unless it's a new release that I want to feature in a video for you guys. Or I do let myself buy books on vacation because when I travel, I like to get books to remember like, oh, I bought them in this place. And then when I'm reading them, I'm thinking about the place and it's more of a keepsake and travel memento because I don't really get things like that. I have a few books, actually most of these books I bought at the Strand bookstore in New York when I went to New York this past weekend, and I had such a good time and I'm so excited to show them to you. Why don't we just jump in? Let's start with actually a couple that were sent to me that I'm really excited about. So this whole first section here are all arcs that were sent to me. First off, we have Burnt Sparrow by Eric LaRocca. Y'all know I'm an Eric LaRocca stan. I will literally read every single thing they write. This is the first book in a series called We Are Always Tender with Our Dead. And all the books in this series are going to take place in this place called Burnt Sparrow. It is an isolated town in New Hampshire, and everyone who lives there is forever altered after three faceless entities arrive on Christmas morning to perform a brutal act of violence, a senseless tragedy that can never be undone. So obviously people are grieving and grappling with the tragedy, and in the aftermath, a young boy is forced to confront the painful realities of his family situation. So I think it's gonna be some type of revenge, like maybe this boy's family is destroyed and he's getting back at the entities that did this massacre. I love something that takes place on Christmas. I'm already thinking about Halloween, which means I'm soon gonna be thinking about Christmas. Not because I'm insane, just because I'm excited. I love holiday times, and as soon as we get to the end of July, I start feeling like, okay, summerween vibes. Like I want Spirit Halloween to open. I'm planning my Halloween costume, so I'm very excited to already think about planning my holiday reading. I will definitely be getting to this one so I can recommend it for you guys for the holidays if I enjoy it, which I'm guessing I will, because if history is anything to believe, I will love this book. And kind of sticking with the Halloween holiday theme, I got sent No Rest for the Wicked by Rachel Louise Adams. This one goes on sale in September, right in time for Halloween. I freaking love the cover. All these black cats are literally adorable. And this is a dark, twisty mystery following a forensic pathologist. And she lives in a town that is famous for Halloween, like it goes big every single year, but it also has a history of violent deaths. And this time her father, the mayor turned US senator, is the victim. So she has to figure out what's going on. It seems like it's gonna have really small town, like Halloween town-esque vibes. I'm very excited for it. And I don't know if y'all remember, but this past Christmas, I read a book. It was right at the end of the year, and it was like a sleeper pick for one of my best books of the year. It's called Blood Like Mine. Well, I have the follow-up. This is the sequel, Blood Like Ours by Stuart Neville. I'm so happy they ended up sending me the second book so I can read it. I am dying to get into this, but I'm trying to make myself wait until a little bit closer to spooky season for it. In the first book, we were following a mother-daughter on the run. We knew that they had something going on because they were running from the police, but we didn't know who was in the right and who was in the wrong until we figured out the sketchy stuff that was going on with them, which obviously I'm not going to give away as I talk about the sequel, but it's bloody, it's very, very twisty and heart-racing. I loved the first edition of the series. I'm excited to read the sequel and let you guys know if you need to pick it up. I also have an arc of the new Chevy Stevens thriller. This is The Hitchhikers. It's set in the 70s and a couple picks up a duo of hitchhikers, but something is sketchy about them. They don't know if they were as benevolent as they first seemed because they soon find out that they have left a trail of blood in their wake, Will this couple survive? Will they not? I'm excited to find out. I usually like Chevy Stevens a lot, and I'm planning on doing a Chevy Stevens taste test. I've read 2 of her books. I gave one 4.5 stars, one 4 stars, but I haven't really dove into her backlist. So I'm excited to do that, get more of her backlist, and read her newer books. Just kind of compare and see what the tea is. And then the last arc I have to share with you all is Overdue by Stephanie Perkins. I used to read Stephanie Perkins a while ago. Really did not like her YA thrillers, but I did actually enjoy her YA romance. I believe that this is either a new adult or an adult romance. Yes. This is her adult debut, actually. And this is about a girl who is a librarian. She's almost 30. She has a long-term partner. Like, she's kind of just settled into her little life. But when her sister gets engaged, it kind of puts the pressure on for her to make a move. And she's wondering, why has her long-term partner not really made a move yet? They end up looking at their relationship and deciding to take a month-long break to see other people to hopefully reassure themselves that their relationship is the right choice and there's nothing better out there. But I think things go awry and maybe she meets someone else. You know, I love a little love triangle situation. This kind of reminds me of Maybe in Another Life and One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I love those books, so I will definitely be sharing my thoughts on this one for you guys. Also love the like library theme, like Overdue. She's a librarian. The cover is so cute. Love it. Next up, I have a whole huge stack of new release thrillers that I've been getting my hands on. Some of these I've read, some of them I haven't, but all of them I want to either feature them in a vlog for my channel, a new release thriller vlog, or keep them as Patreon vlogs. I do an exclusive vlog on Patreon every month just for my top tier that will never see the light of day on YouTube. And then I also do an exclusive vlog for my book club tiers, just reading my book club pick every single month on Patreon. So if you haven't checked out my Patreon and you want more vlog content, there's also solo podcast content over there. I will always have it linked down below. No pressure, you don't have to subscribe, but if you want to check it out, look at it down below. So I keep picking up every single new release thriller that I want to read to hopefully feature them in one of those videos. I will start out with the new Craig DeLuey. Obviously I have high hopes for this one, because Craig DeLuey wrote one of my best books of last year, How to Survive a Horror Movie. This one is My Ex the Antichrist, and it's basically Daisy Jones and the Six, but make it horror and metal. And you know how I feel about Daisy Jones and the Six, okay? Kind of like a biopic about a fake band, and this is a similar thing. In this book, we are following Lily Lawler, and she is the lead singer of this like grungy punk band in the 90s. She gets into the metal scene. She meets this like metal guitarist. They have this whirlwind romance. Everything is crazy. Their bands are blowing up. He ends up joining her band. Like, there's all of this drama, and then it all culminates in her walking off stage after a performance, walking into a police station and confessing to a murder. And then everybody just goes off the grid. So now it's years and years later, and it's told in an interview, like mockumentary style. We actually are gonna find out what happened. It's literally Daisy Jones and the Six, but make it horror. I am beyond obsessed. I have such high hopes for this. I really don't want it to let me down. I also recently picked up this book, Small Game by Blair Braverman. I had never heard of this book and I've never read from this author, but I was in a bookstore with my boyfriend and he pulled it out and was like, this sounds like you. And I read the little synopsis and I was like, yes, I fear it does sound like me. It is a thriller and it takes place on like a reality show type of situation. This is also a debut, so no wonder I haven't read from this author before. We're following a survival reality show that's gone wrong and has left a group of strangers stranded in the wilderness. So if you know me, you know that a while ago I was obsessed with this reality show called Extracted. Actually, it was a show that me and my boyfriend were watching together. I talked about it a little bit on Patreon live shows and stuff like that. I am obsessed with reality competition shows, and just put one in a thriller, I'm hooked. I've not read that many great ones, but I'm trying to read as many as I can so I can tell you guys who also like reality TV thrillers which ones are good, which ones are not. I'm hoping that this one's gonna be a good one. Next up, of course, I had to buy a copy of my book club pick. This is my July book club pick, With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. The vlog for this one is already up on Patreon. It is a classic Agatha Christie style murder mystery that takes place on a train. Anna's life was destroyed. Basically, her entire family was destroyed by the actions of 6 people. So she gathers all 6 people on a train and decides to exact revenge on them. But before she can execute her plan, people start dropping off one by one, and we have to solve the mystery. If you want to discuss this book with me at the beginning of August, you can join my Patreon and talk about it there. And another new release that I've already read and enjoyed is Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I featured this one in my most recent new release thriller vlog. If you missed it, I'll link it up above and down below. I also read the new S.A. Cosby and the new Liv Constantine in that video. And this is basically about a bunch of women who are getting duped by a man and the way that they come into their power and get back at him. It's not really a typical like twisty mystery kind of thriller. It's more of a psychological character study, and I just think this kind of book from Lisa Jewell is so well done and endlessly entertaining. I don't know if it's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but if you like Lisa Jewell's earlier work, I think you'll really like this one, and I'm really glad that I got it and I read it as soon as it came out. Continuing with the new release thrillers, I have the new one from Sarah Pinborough. This is We Live Here Now, and this follows a couple who they went through something like crazy, traumatic, and they decide, you know what, we just need to get out of the city. We need to get out. We need to live on our own. So they buy this big Gothic manor and they decide to go live out there, and then weird shit starts happening around the house. Very, very standard setup, but I hope it's gonna go in a crazy, twisty direction like Sarah Pinborough books usually do. I freaking loved Behind Her Eyes and the follow-up Insomnia, and I'm hoping that this is gonna be along the same vein. I actually read the first chapter of this one already in a try a chapter video. That should be the next video that's coming out on my channel in a few days, so subscribe if you want to see that. Actually, a ton of these new release thrillers I sat down and just tried the first chapter of to give you guys my initial impressions, and this one really stood out. It was so good. It's giving me all the like Gothic summerween energy that I am wanting, so I will definitely be reading this one soon. Next up, we have some summery new release thrillers because it's not quite Halloween. We still have time for summer reading. First up, we have The Last Ferry Out by Andrea Bartz, and this is about a woman whose fiance went on vacation and then tragically died, and she is going to that island. She's taking a ferry out there to try to figure out what happened to her fiance. How did she die? She was supposed to meet her on this vacation and she never got the chance, so she is grieving and then also working on solving the mystery, and then she ends up in a kind of sketchy situation on the island herself. I love Andrea Bartz. Everything that I've read from her has been 4 stars or above, so I have high hopes for this one as well. Although I'm sitting here saying like, I have high hopes for all these books. Of course, why would I buy a book that I don't have high hopes for? But I just logically know that not all of these are going to work out, and now I'm wondering like, who's gonna be the culprit? If you've already read some of these and you think you know which ones I'm gonna like and not like, please let me know down below. I love to see if y'all are accurately able to guess my taste and what my reviews are gonna be. Another kind of summery vacation thriller is the new one from Ruth Ware. This is The Woman in Suite 11. This is actually a sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10. We're following the same woman from Cabin 10. That thriller kind of reset my brain chemistry. It was one of the thrillers that got me back into reading as an adult, and I'm so excited to read the follow-up. Like I said, we're following that same investigative journalist character, and she's covering again the opening of a new vacation spot. This time she's not in Cabin 10, she's in Suite 11, but she's getting into another murderous situation, and we are gonna have to figure out what has gone on. Next up, we have Our Last Resort by Clemence McCallan. I loved The Quiet Tenant by Clemence McCallan. That book actually shocked me so much. I did not think I was gonna like that thriller as much as I did. The cover's kind of ugly. It's like very unassuming, but the inside, oh my god, that book was phenomenal. So I'm excited to read another one from her. This is about a brother-sister duo that back in the day escaped a cult, but they haven't been close in adulthood. So they go to this like resort retreat place to try to reconnect, and people start dropping dead at this resort. And she's wondering, is my brother low-key a killer? And also, was he responsible for some of the deaths in the cult? And he just escaped with me to like get away with that? Do I even know my family? I kind of love that trope of like, how well do you know your family? And I think it's gonna focus a lot on that. Y'all know I don't love a cult book, but it seems like most of this takes place at the retreat rather than the actual cult. The cult seems like more flashbacky. I don't know, we'll see. And then of course I had to pick up the new Megan Miranda, You Belong Here. This is a typical Megan Miranda setup. Some tragedy happened in a woman's small town, and now later in life she's forced to go back to that small town even though she said she never would, and shit starts going down again. It sounds exactly like every other mid thriller that I've read from Megan Miranda, but somehow, some way, they always end up in my hands. I'm just addicted. There's just always a nice little palate cleanser between books. I don't know. I will just always pick up Megan Miranda books. They're just kind of nothing and kind of mid. I'm so sorry, but that's the way I feel. But we need those books, you know? These are the books that I can read in between books that I'm highly anticipating that will prevent me from getting into a slump or getting overexcited or overwhelmed by choice, and I appreciate that. And let me know if y'all feel that same way. I was talking about this with someone the other day of like, I need solid 3-star reads in between the phenomenal books that I read, or else I just get burnt out on reading really quickly. I actually missed an arc. I do have one nonfiction book to share with you. I received this one from the publisher. I don't know if this is an arc or a finished copy. It looks like this is a finished copy, so this should be already out. And this is Almost 30, a definitive guide to a life you love for the next decade and beyond. And I just turned 27, so this will be good before I am almost 30, you know? It sounds like it's similar to The Defining Decade, which I recommend a lot on my channel, but it's maybe the step beyond that, and it seems like perfect reading for this time in my life. So I will get to it and let y'all know what I'm thinking. And all the rest of the books that I'm gonna feature in this haul are ones that I bought while I was in New York. Like I mentioned, I went to the Strand bookstore, which I feel like is pretty iconic and everyone knows what that is, but I also went to quite a few other indie bookstores around the city. I don't know if I remember the names of all of them. I freaking love the independent bookstores all around New York. I love that just like walking around, you can always find a bookstore. I feel like every few blocks there was one that I was like, okay, let's pop in here. Okay, can we pop in here really quick? I also did go to Bibliotech, which is a book wine bar, and book club bar, which is exactly what it sounds like. And while I was having my little drinky pop, I did get books in there as well. So this is a whole menagerie of books that I got in New York, and anytime I read one now, I'm gonna think of my trip, and I just had such a fun time. I don't think I could ever live there, but the book shopping is top tier, so let's go ahead and get into it. First up, I have Rabbit Hole by Kate Brody, and this is a thriller that I haven't heard of. I think it's new. Came out in 2024. It looks like. Came out before This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead, but it's very similar because it's about a family who loses someone to murder, and one of the members of the family gets deep into like true crime Reddit in the wake of that, trying to solve the case, and they get involved with armchair detectives. It says it's a biting critique on internet voyeurism and an outrageous, heart-wrenching character study of a mind twisted by grief that leads to a page-turning mystery addictive as a late-night Reddit binge. This sounds so similar to This Book Will Bury Me. I'm interested to compare them to see if I enjoy it because I loved This Book Will Bury Me, and I don't know. I'm still working on my true crime and fiction commentary video, and I think this might lend itself to me writing that video a little bit more because right now I've kind of stalled out on it. I'm not gonna lie. I get burnt out making like really long videos that take a lot of writing and a lot of editing, so we will just see. when that comes out. I'm definitely gonna need to read this one beforehand. I also picked up, surprise, another thriller. This is actually a more romantic thriller, and it sounds so kitschy, over the top, and fun. It's called Strike and Burn by Taylor Hutton. I've never read from Taylor Hutton before, and this is about a girl who's kind of down on her luck, and of course, she just so happens to meet this enigmatic billionaire in a morgue, no less, and he decides to hire her to work at an erotic animation studio. And when she takes this job, it becomes a dangerous mix of business and pleasure. And she also apparently has a killer after her, and the billionaire is gonna protect her. It kind of sounds like a mix between the Mindfuck series and like the Witsex series, which are dark romances, and 50 Shades of Grey. We'll see how this goes. I literally haven't heard anything about it, so if you know anything about that book, let me know down below. Also, while in New York, I picked up The Men by Sandra Newman. This is like a literary dystopian book about one day all of the people with a Y chromosome on the planet Earth just disappear. What happens in the wake of that? It talks about all the people who are left and how they go about rebuilding the world, all the different litany of feelings that they feel, relief, immense grief, so many gaps in society. It's so commentary heavy, but also just like really disturbing and weird. If you are into dystopian sci-fi weird girl lit fic, you're going to love this book. I cannot wait to tell you guys about this in my wrap up. I have so many in-depth thoughts on it that I'm gonna save for the wrap up at the end of the month. But right when I bought this in New York, I started reading it on the plane ride back, and I just binged it. It was so good. I also picked up another more literary book. This is The Divorcees by Rowan Baird, and this takes place in the 50s, where women had to kind of jump through hoops if they wanted a divorce. And one of the things that this particular woman who wants a divorce had to do is go to a ranch for like 6 weeks and be with the other divorcees, and it kind of seems like it's like a group therapy thing, so they can decide that they eventually don't want a divorce. But what happens for our main character is that she has a sapphic romance while she's there, and I believe it's reaffirming everything that she suspected about her marriage. I'm really excited to see all of these horny divorcee women at a ranch for 6 weeks, and like the drama that could go down there, and also of course the social commentary, you know, that's important as well. You know, I had to pick up the new Taylor Jenkins read. This is Atmosphere, and I'm so freaking excited for it. It's set in the 80s, and this is about the first women in space, and I believe there's a sapphic love story in here. And I know some people in the past have judged Miss TJR for writing sapphic love stories, hate that she was forced to come out of the closet to set you guys right, but she is in fact bisexual, and she's valid, and she can write as much sapphic stuff as she wants. Bisexual women do in fact exist, so slay the boots. I'm excited for this one. Next up, I have a YA dystopian, and I actually wasn't gonna read this one because I wasn't the biggest fan of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but Sunrise on the Reaping is getting such great reviews that I just went ahead and decided to get it. Obviously, this is by Suzanne Collins, and this is a prequel to The Hunger Games following Haymitch's games, and I've just heard so many good things, so I'm gonna get into it. We'll see. I think I'm gonna like be transported back to middle school, which is half blinding fear and half sweet nostalgia. I'll let you know how it goes. Oh, you know what? One of the books snuck in this stack that I got for my boyfriend. So here's his book. It's called Feral. It's short stories. No, it's not. It's a novel. It's just written by 2 men. It's horror. It says it's a provocative and terrifying last stand of a lone outpost of women in the wake of a deadly pandemic. Slay. Well, I hope he enjoys that. That snuck its way into my haul. The last couple that I have to share with you are, of course, some good little thrillers. The first one here has amazing sprayed edges. I could not walk away from this one. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with these bloody sprayed edges and the purple and the like embossed. Oh, I love it. It's called How to Survive, a Horror Story by Mallory Arnold, and it really reminds me of that. There was a horror book about a group of authors that go to spend the night in a haunted house. what is it called? It like swept BookTube for a moment. Like Horror BookTube was obsessed with this book. It was kind of problematic. It had some like weird fat phobia in it. But other than that, I really enjoyed that book. If I can remember the name of it, I will put it on the screen. But it reminds me of that because 7 authors go into a haunted manor and they have to survive the story within. They're playing a game and the winner of the game will get through the entire horror story set up in this mansion. If they don't end up solving the riddle, then the manor will take one of them for itself. And y'all know I love a thriller with a game. I love like the survival horror aspect. I love the authors. I love when a book is about writing and authors. I just am endlessly interested by that, and it's a beautiful book. This is really the one book that I'm like, this is my New York keepsake. Like, even if I hate the book, I'm just gonna love her forever. And the last book that I have to share with you guys is Sun Damage by Sabine Durant. This was just giving me perfect summer thriller. If I'm gonna lay out by the pool and read a paperback, this is gonna be the one. It's set in a tiny village in Provence. 9 guests arrive at a luxury hotel and only one will survive. Dramatic, glamorous, witty, and a totally riveting story chock full of secrets, lies, and murder. I've never read from this author, but this just sounds delicious and I think I'm gonna eat it right up. So with that, those are all of the books that I have to haul for you guys. Let me know down below if there are any that I should especially prioritize, if there are any that you want to see in upcoming vlogs. I'm so excited to share with you about the ones that I've already read in my wrap up later this month. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Just as a reminder, my Patreon is always linked down below if you'd like to check that out. Again, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week, and I will see you guys in my next one.